recording. I'll pop into this. All right. How is it going, guys?
All right.
Probably as good as it can be going right now.
Going okay?
Going all
Surviving?
right.
Good. I'm gonna turn this up even. Go. Oops. So this is the second of our flashback scenes that we're doing. First one was taking a look at Elijah's introduction to Willow Shore. This one will be dealing with the second and final of the outsiders to Willow Shore. We're gonna see what's going on with Kui and why does he never want to be in formation.
Hell yeah.
So before we get to that, I want to ask. In fact, I haven't asked Momo yet, even. But do you guys know of the relics? Have you guys looked into the builds you guys want to do for those, or anything?
I haven't yet.
Haven't
I
yet.
looked at it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So just as we're going through these, think about what you want to do, how you want to tie it into your story, and then how you want to use that relic to express your character's like narrative and their growth. Because the relics, the whole point of them is that they will be growing with you.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Momo, I didn't ask you. We haven't talked yet since I dumped this transcript on you last night at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
How much do you want to do? You want to do everything? I marked the things that I'll do that because it's other characters talking.
Uh,
But what are you thinking? Have you
uh,
read it?
I did read it, but is it fine if you read the description? Well, like,
I can read the
and
descriptions, and
I
then
can like,
you can just read all the quiz parts.
yeah. And then once I say the cute part, is it like with the quotes and stuff, right?
Yeah, all the quotes that don't have my initials next to it.
Okay, sound good.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we got the woods playing, woods music. All right.
Oh man.
So, the scene opens. We're overlooking this very dense forest. We zoom in, flying through, the camera's flying through the canopy, through a bunch of leaves and branches, and we arrive at the back of this man, just kind of hobbling through the forest. He's got this long black hair. He's got this cloak that's flowing ever so gently with the loose wind in the forest. It's quite long, going down to like the back of his knees. And then a sudden wind flicks at his worn and ragged cloak as he treasures through the dense wooded landscape. An adrenaline suddenly fills his veins. He whips his neck, scanning the bushes. Thoughts come crashing down in a landslide, burying him underneath the rubble.
Oh, that's it. Okay. What's that? A football? Mm.
A whole thing.
Oh, really? The whole thing. Okay. Let me say that again. What's that? A football? Wait, no crunch. Just brushing. Just brushing. They did, man. No, impossible. I'm alone. I have been alone for weeks. It's too dense. No tracks, no smoke. Maybe they're hiding. They're professional. Someone sent them. How did they find me? It was set up. It was set up. I'm starting it. I'm starting it. What more do they want? Was exile not enough?
Hui's eyes dashed around, and just briefly they caught a glint of movement at the bottom edge of his vision. Pebbles swirled around his left fist, knuckles torn white from his tight grip. Finally, he forced himself to take a deep breath, then blood returned the color to his hand, and the rocky rubble dropped to the ground. The peace of the forest is insufficient. There will always be at least one person he can never escape from. Hui found himself trailing alongside a patient river. The gentle rippling of the water distracted him from his own thoughts. Eventually, the river fed into a village, one much quieter than he'd stumbled upon for quite some time. His joints called to him warily, begging for a reprise from the earth. The waters seemed to agree. The nights were getting colder again, and it was time for a proper rest. Hui scanned the village. It appeared to be a fishing town, too high up in the mountains for much agriculture, beyond just root vegetables, rice, herding. Too forested. The soil is harsh, rocky. A village dependent on fishing must operate earlier days, especially with earlier nightfall this time of year. Most people would probably be in a dead sleep by this hour. It's perfect for Kui. He found a cabin on the edge of the settlement, barely lit by a single paper lantern, and quietly slid the door open. He quickly assessed the entryway. There was a small podium holding a shallow wooden bowl and a paper inked with a simple message saying 4 copper per night. Kui tossed out his entire coin sack onto the tray, and 3 coins clicked gently onto the wood. He sighed and headed for an empty room, making a note to wake early before any accounting could occur. After several nights marked by starvation, Kui found himself crawling sluggishly from shadow to shadow between buildings, hiding from the moonlight. He hadn't been spotted yet in town, and he wouldn't let his desperation and hunger ruin his anonymity. Nearing collapse from starvation, his eyes instinctively tilted toward the river. Hold on, I gotta... Here we go. That's kind of loud. His eyes darted instinctively toward the river. Just a short wade across it, he found a shrine, and moved to investigate further without pause. Hui pressed himself up against the stone exterior and managed to pull himself up to a window on the back side of the shrine. He spotted a crowded display of food laden atop a table, an array of desserts, sesame and peanut soup, mooncakes, gluttonous rice balls, and colorful, nearly glowing fruit tempted Kui to his breaking point. Driven by base instincts, he threw himself over the ledge of the window, stumbled into the room, and began to palm handfuls into his mouth without any hesitation. One motivator is always present, though. No matter his hunger or his fatigue, it returns. His heart rate accelerated in a burst as the promise of nutrients echoed from his tongue throughout his body. His awareness heightened again. He whipped his head to the side.
What's that? A football? A football? A scrap? A step on stone.
But he was too late. A pan of cast iron arrived into Kui's vision just as his vision departed. When he awoke, he was in a soft bed, his body wrapped in bandages. A woman dressed in a white robe with green stripes down either side stood beside him, her eyes filled with a curious mix of pity and irritation. "You're awake," she said, her voice a sharp contrast to her. "You're awake," sorry. She said, her voice's sharp contrast to her gentle touch. She took a seat beside the bed and dipped a cloth into a bowl of water beside the bed and began dabbing it along his arm. Her face was rounded at the edges, soft features, save for her eyes, which were trained intensely, forcefully on Kui at the moment. This incurred an instant panic within Kui, which quickly bubbled up to the surface of his body and his mind, but for some reason it did not breach. Kui felt the warmth of her hand through the damp towel, and he let out a large breath that he just realized he had been holding in since he awoke.
Where am I?
Kui tried to cough that out, expecting a coarse and dry throat given his condition, but it was surprisingly silken and calm. The shrine, she replied curtly. The one you were stealing from?
Oh, I thank you for taking care of me.
Dr. Dahman deserves your thanks. He's the one that healed you, not me. Although, humble as he is, he probably won't accept your thanks. He thinks Qi Zhong stepped in. Not sure where that sudden faith is coming from, the doctor. Kui tried to sit up, but then she slid her arm up to his shoulder, applying pressure gently, pushing him back down. And where are you off to? You have a debt to settle. Kui's heart pounded. Was this woman sent here? Was she following me in the woods after all? I need to run. I can't. I need to. He felt the warmth of the towel on his upper arm, and then the waves of thoughts subsided.
What do you mean?
That food you were helping yourself to last night, she said. Kui's face flushed with embarrassment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He stammered.
I was just so hungry. I can't pay you, but maybe I can walk off my debt.
She studied him for a moment, trying to evaluate his intentions, crossed her arms, interlocking into the sleeves of her robe. 4 weeks. 4 weeks of earnings lost to your selfishness and your gluttony. Her words hung as her eyes looked down at his weak and gaunt body. 4 weeks that you'll have to cover. He was taken aback and questioned this.
Excuse me? I think I didn't hear that correctly. 4 weeks?
Yes, that wasn't just my supper that you ate. Those were my preparations for the first long night. I was hoping to make a standout at the feast this year to drum up donations, but you spoiled a lot of it. Despite the terror of the priestess's dominating presence, sharp words, and glaring eyes, he felt the carrying of her touch as she returned to dabbing his bruises. I know it sounds odd, but winter's my favorite time of year. The first long nights in the Clay Light Festival give us the hope to survive the harshness of the winter. Seeing loved ones and neighbors join together to celebrate another successful year.
I didn't know. I'm sorry about that. Yes, sorry. 4 weeks is fine. I didn't mean to be rude. I almost set up my debts.
She looks back and a little more satisfied than before. Good. Start the first thing in the morning, cleaning up that mess you made, and then I'll have another activity for you. I'm Uba Ming, by the way. She stood up, placing the cloth into the bowl, and now taking it off of his wrist, and now suddenly revealing a bracelet on his wrist. Kui turned his neck towards it, studying it, acquiring it with his eyebrows. was mystifying. A bracelet formed with 2 rings, the inner one being a leather strap tied securely but comfortably around his wrist. And attached to the leather are 5 rods of various hues and temperaments. One a vibrant glowing brown, almost golden, one a warming orange with red flecked patterning, one a rough jagged gray spotted between harsh black, a pure reflective and clean silver, and a deep bubbling blue rod. Each were about half an inch in circumference, almost like spokes for a wheel attached to a wider wooden ring.
Yes. I'm cute.
Ming nods towards his wrist, and that is a gift from Dr. Dami. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but he said something about the 5 cycles. I don't know. You can ask him about it in the morning. He'll be coming back to check on you. Then the next morning, Kui awoke much later than usual and found Ming sitting with her legs set to her side, which were bare against the cold stone of the shrine, shaping clay before her.
Good morning. What is this?
These are for the Playlight Festival later, after the first long night celebrating the winter solstice. Everyone will get one of these to put outside their homes and light it up and barbecue over it. And we put candles inside. You can even lift the roof off. See? And she opens it up and reveals a spot for coals and candles on the inside. I always love making these little clay huts, shaping the earth between my hands. It makes me feel more connected to nature. Here, join me, and then you can clean up after. Kui sat down to start molding the clay into rough shapes of huts, trying to imitate, her gentle hands. Despite his ability to conjure earth itself, he felt himself inadequate when it came to making beauty out of it. Ming had made 5 for every one Kui had that morning, with attention to detail down to the tiles and straw of the roofing, with accessories to match. After about an hour of shaping clay, Dr. Dami finally arrived. I had another picture showing what Kui's would look like. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can pull it up. It's important. Whoops, that's the wrong folder. This one. No, is it in downloads? No. I'll just go to my history. Can you guys see this? This is what his look like.
Real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is hers. She got a
I'm
little.
glad you had to derail for like 20 seconds to show us how bad he was at it.
Tried to make little tiles, and little chimney and stuff, but not as good as hers. She even made little bricks in it. She's pretty good. He sucks.
Real.
So then Dr. Dami finally arrived. Says, "Oh, thank goodness you're doing better. I see, and helping out. How are you feeling, Kui?"
I'm feeling better now.
Yes, you were delirious last night. Do you remember anything that happened?
Not really. Just saw something like dark coming out my face.
Yeah, that was Miss Bombing's trusty pan. Well, you were quite weak. I had to give you lots of medicine and fluids. I even had to bring in one of the clerics to heal you. How long have you been wandering like this? How long have you been hungry? Hungry enough to steal from the shrine?
Probably days, maybe weeks.
Days, weeks. Well, I think you should rest here. Doctor's orders. Besides, I believe Bombing mentioned something about you paying back your debt to her for ruining her feast. So I think it's best you stay in town, and you know, I'm sure despite her her attitude, she'll take good care of you.
Yes. Thank you.
And I want to ask, how are you finding that bracelet?
Pretty interesting. I like it. What is this?
Well, I was wondering that myself, actually. I found it laying out in the river, but it was strange. It was floating in the opposite direction of the flow. It seemed to be pushing itself against the tide, rolling up the hill towards the shrine. That's how I found you and Ubao Ming here. It seemed like it was drawn to you. I had to check back in my studies. I knew I'd seen this image somewhere, but this was a tale that's of a very old, ancient deity, Qi Zhang was said to have been a healer, a doctor just like myself, before he rose to deification. Qi Zhang is the this is getting loud. Qi Zhang is the protector of the cycles, the 5 cycles of life. And I think he's calling out to you for some reason. He sends you this. At least that's what I believe. I've never seen anything like it. Do you feel any different?
Me as a healer? No, so far not really.
Did you find anything like drawing you here to this shrine?
Hmm, I guess I was like I don't know. I just tried the river. Maybe.
The river.
Some,
Strange. Well, in any case, I think that is a blessing. I don't hold much faith myself, but seeing that and seeing your wondrous recovery, I just know it had to be something special. As soon as I had that around your wrist, you started looking much better, and your strength had returned. So I don't know what to make of that, but maybe there's something to this. there's any God to believe in, I'm sure I should believe in the God of healers, right?
Yeah?
Anyway, I'm glad you're feeling better. I'll be off. I have other patients to see. Um, I'll see you later, Bombing. Looking forward to the festival. And he heads out. Bombing stands up and brushes clay and dust off of her robes. She says, "Now, will you take the rest of these and place them over in the bin by the altar, and then you get to clean up this entire shrine. Right? Sweep it, dust it, mop it, everything. I want it spotless. Okay?
Yes, I got it.
All right. If you need anything, just let me know." And she heads off.
I'm sweeping.
What's that?
I'm sweeping.
You're sweeping. Kui returned to his work. He cleaned it diligently. And then, as the days of his debt settlement turned into weeks, Kui found himself drawn to this woman, Uba Ming. In her presence, his anxiety seemed to melt away. As the 4 weeks passed, he found himself enjoying helping and taking care of the shrine. Ming and he never spoke about it, about his debt or how they met after that first morning. He just stayed. He found comfort in his duties and his routines, most of which were just cleaning and keeping out of sight whenever visitors were around. And around here, though, he found that he could control his impulses more. They flowed freely but never wildly. With her guidance and the wisdom of Dr. Dami, teaching him in the ways of healing and teaching him the lessons, learning the lessons of Qigong together, Hui began to understand himself more deeply. Something kept scratching at him. He was never really sure if the debt was settled or not. This debt or his other debts. He always felt like they were chasing him. And yet he found himself unable to bring it up after growing closer to Ba Ming, and unable to discuss his extended stay with her at the shrine. Neither were topics he really wanted closure on anyway, no matter how much anxiety they gave him. But now he had found purpose. He had found something beyond himself worth devoting himself to, and people that didn't hate him for what he had done. Ba Ming helped him express himself, and Dr. Dami helped him learn about how one can use their powers to help rather than to hurt. But he never let go of those things that were chasing him, of the person that he could never escape from, himself. And that is where we end it. So I will stop sharing my screen. So Kui's relic is this relic of an actual god, Shizhong.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Momo, please feel free to check out that relics page and try to figure out what powers you think it should have. What
Oh
you
yeah,
think would fit with Kui.
I was checking out yesterday night, like at 2 a.m.
When I sent you the
Yeah.
script. Nice. Yeah. Uh, so I will be uploading this video later today whenever it renders, and I will also I'll upload, or if you're okay with it, can I share this script with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. And Tavern, for Elijah too, is it okay if I share that?
Yeah. Go on.
Okay. So we can check it out. Because there's nuggets in both of these that I think are hard to get just from hearing it and listening to it. That it's good if you can check the text of it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! All right. So I was talking to Malik a little bit about his. I think he wants to go next. I don't know when we can do that, but apparently not tonight. I am, as you can see, I'm using Bluetooth headphones. I'm on my laptop. I'm in a different room because I am in the process of moving. Hi, Malik. Thanks for joining us. We're done.
So real.
Oh, you guys finished?
Well, we already
Just a-
finished.
Sorry, guys.
You can
I'd,
check the VOD later, though.
Yeah, I'll read the VOD. I'll
Yeah.
read the VOD. Watch the VOD.
I was just talking about I am going to upload the script as well.
Okay, I'll read the VOD too.
Read and watch.
I need to read my script first too for my session.
You got a couple bullet points.
Yeah, I need to do some more writing there.
Yeah.
Work's been crazy. I had a late meeting today. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. So we'll see. I can probably do next Friday, depending on if I have. Oh, I will have internet. I'll be at an Airbnb next Friday in Denver. I will actually have my new apartment by then, but I will not. I probably will not have internet, nor will I have my computer.
Yeah.
So we can do another one of these, potentially. And I'll be in an Airbnb.
Is mine the next one?
If you want it to be. I was just gonna ask Ryan if he wanted to go too.
I haven't read the thing you sent me. Is it? Did I give you enough? Like, I feel like I need to do more there.
I didn't add
so-
anything yet. I was
Okay,
just
yeah. So
focused
I
on
guess
tonight's.
I don't think I'd be ready for next Friday. So
Okay. Ryan, how fast can you write?
I can try and craft one by next week. I don't know what the
don't have
relic's
to.
gonna be. Okay.
Well, don't worry
Yeah.
about the
At
relic.
least
You can figure that out
I
later.
just need to figure out what the relic like object is gonna be. That's really it. Like,
Oh,
because
these.
I wanted to show, obviously.
I just threw it into the story for both of these guys.
Real.
So I don't know. But yeah, if you want something specific, and also for both of you, if you want to change that around, we can. Since I just dumped it on you. But
no, yeah, I can try and write some of it, and I'll let you know like probably later in the week if I'm gonna be good to go or not.
okay, yeah, just let me know, and yeah, we'll do the same thing next Friday. If not, have the week off, and we'll come back with probably one of these the Friday after, which is
I will say
the 22nd.
I will not be able to do the 22nd. I'm going camping that day, so I'm going camping all weekend. So,
Play from the 10th.
so I'm not doing that.
I will try and write mine for next Friday, but I've been working a lot, so it's just been annoying to do that after I get home with work. So
You guys just aren't dedicated. Play from the 10th.
I know.
Quit your job.
I'm dead. Yeah.
Finally.
My work's
Yeah, bro.
making me do
I'll
like
just like make a mobile hotspot on my phone and have my computer run everything on that. That definitely won't kill my battery.
Exactly.
my work's been making me work like 10 to 11 hours every day. It sucks.
I
So,
worked 4 hours today.
dude, that's nice. I worked
Oh yeah.
3.5 hours today. I took like most of the day off actually.
Nice.
You guys are never gonna.
I was supposed to only work 1 hour today, and I still somehow I worked 3.5. So
Nice.
They'll do that to you. They'll do that to you.
yeah, it sucks. That's what happens when you don't have like official 410s,
Yeah.
where like even though you've gotten all your hours in, like the Friday is still technically a work day, so people can annoy you and you still have to respond. But if it was like officially 410s, then you just no one is working on that day, so no one will bother you. So like,
Just ignore them.
Yeah.
unfortunately, I couldn't. It's too many important things happening. And if I ignore them, they go off and do things without me, and I don't like the things that they do. So
Imagine having an
unfortunately,
important position. See, that's where you did wrong. You got yourself in a position where they actually need you.
The
And you
other
actually
mistake was caring about the outcome.
real.
Just let it
yeah, that
break.
is a problem.
Let bad things happen.
This one would be really bad though. I'm too invested in the outcome. Like it would be really, really bad. So
Don't do
yeah,
that.
I know.
But all right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys, and sharing in this story for Kui. Fuck you, Malik. Um, and I worked so hard. I got images set up and music, even though I'm on my laptop. I had to go download all these images from the Foundry pack.
How'd you even get the server up?
It spent 20 seconds typing out the image of the
Show
house.
Kui's shitty clay houses he made.
Well,
It was important.
I look forward to watching it.
Yeah.
I'll watch it this weekend.
Cool. So yeah, be on the lookout. I'll tag everyone if Malik or Ryan is ready for next Friday, and keep an eye out. All right. See you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Adios.
I guess.